Just when you thought the price tag for Brandon Aiyuk couldn't get any higher, another wide receiver gets a massive deal. Earlier in the week, it was Nico Collins getting a big-time payday. Today, it is Jaylen Waddle of the Dolphins getting a 3-year, $84.75 million contract with $76 million guaranteed. Now, when we talk about these contracts, one of the things that we talk about is the per year on average, pay scale, essentially. So what this deal does is move Jaylen Waddle into fourth in the NFL with $28.25 million per year on average. Whoo! But there are a couple things here. Obviously, we're waiting to see Brandon Aiyuk, and if he gets paid, and as we continue to wait, and we've talked about this countless times, the market is what dictates Brandon Aiyuk's price. It's not necessarily Brandon Aiyuk's just picking a random number out of thin air and saying, oh, this is how much money I want. No, the market is what dictates what Brandon Aiyuk is asking for. You couple that with the production that he has and what he's done for this team with the San Francisco 49ers, that's ultimately where this lands and where the price comes from. And so, again, with these two deals with Nico Collins, Jaylen Waddle, getting these deals while Brandon Aiyuk is in the midst of contract negotiations. Again, we just heard earlier in the week that, BA was aiming for potentially 30 million per year on average. And I think it was Nico Collins' deal has the incentives built in that can be up to 25 million per year on average. And then Jaylen Waddle comes in right here at $28.25 million per year on average, making him the fourth highest paid wide receiver in the NFL based on a per year average. So, whoo, man, every day I think like, oh, the 49ers are good now. The no more wide receivers are going to be signed. They've all been signed. I didn't even know Jaylen Waddle was up for a contract extension. Jaylen Waddle has put in 3 consecutive 1,000+ yard receiving seasons. He's produced. And the other interesting thing about it is he's on a roster with the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL in Tyreek Hill. So there are multiple teams who are continuing to show that you can pay two high-priced wide receivers. Again, you look at Tyreek Hill and Jaylen Waddle. You look at A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith for the Eagles. You look at Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin, all getting over $20 million per year. And so obviously the 49ers have Deebo Samuel, who's sitting around $23 million per year on average. And that's been kind of the talking point amongst the 49ers community is, can we afford both guys? Obviously, Deebo Samuel has no guaranteed money on his contract after this season. So there could be some shufflings that happen in the future. That remains to be seen. But nonetheless, wow. The wide receiver market has absolutely exploded. And this is without Brandon Aiyuk getting paid, without CeeDee Lamb getting paid, and without Justin Jefferson getting paid. Typically, it feels like the best players get paid first, but it's almost if you're the best player right now, you don't want to get paid first. You want to just watch everyone underneath you get paid, and it's almost like reverse the market. Rather than setting the standard for how much it's getting paid and then everyone falls kind of underneath it, it sounds like it would be you're better suited just to sit back and let everyone underneath you get paid to really solidify what the market is, and then you go get your number based on the last guy. So again, people were freaking out about the $30 million per year on average, like reportedly what Brandon Aiyuk was asking for. And when you're looking at Nico Collins, when you're looking at Jaylen Waddle, when you're looking at Devonta Smith, and you're looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown and the range in which all these guys are getting, 30 isn't that crazy. Now, I don't think that's the sweet spot. I would say 28 would be the sweet spot for Brandon Aiyuk, but still 30 isn't that far away from 28, obviously. So quite the development here on this morning. I'm about to go get my fitness on, trying to get in some better shape. But I was like, dang, man, open my eyes, Jaylen Waddle getting the bag. And what does it mean for Brandon Aiyuk and the San Francisco 49ers? It appears we won't know till the end of July. So we're going to have to continue to sit tight. How does this impact Brandon Aiyuk? I would imagine that it kind of, I would say Jaylen Waddle and Brandon Aiyuk, very similar tier based on Jaylen Waddle's past production. So, because Waddle has been a very productive wide receiver in the NFL, he has played and done well, especially as a number 2 wide receiver on the Dolphins. Like I said, he has produced over 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. So he's put up, I think, over 1,300 yards one particular season. I think it was not last year, but the year prior that he had done that. So, when you look at Waddle, what he's been able to accomplish, 72 receptions, 1,014 yards, 4 touchdowns last season. Obviously, Brandon Aiyuk had more receptions, more yards, more touchdowns. But his year 2, the year before that, he had 75 receptions, 1,356 yards, which is really almost identical to Brandon Aiyuk's stat line, 8 touchdowns for Jaylen Waddle, while Aiyuk had 7. But also in Waddle's first season in the NFL, he was a 1,000-yard wide receiver with 6 touchdowns and had 104 receptions. So Waddle over the last 3 years has absolutely produced. We have two big time years of production from Brandon Aiyuk because we knew in that 2021 year he was kind of an ascending player, but he has been consistent since then. I don't know about you guys. Are you getting nervous? Like, I've been saying this whole time, like, I'm pretty confident we're going to get this done. Just got to be patient. Just got to wait it out. But I'm like, I'm still confident. I'm still patient. But it's just like the market is just absolutely exploded. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.